Good evening, I'm Henry Goodwin, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Husker football coach Matt Rhule spoke to the media. He was asked about the quarterback room, and here's what he had to say.
I think the quarterbacks are playing really well. Jeff has done a really good job. He's understanding situationally what we want from him. Chubba has made huge leaps, in my opinion. I thought he had a great summer. I think he's having a really good camp. I'm really proud of Chubba. We came to him and challenged him in the spring, and he's done nothing but respond. It's a credit to him and his family that a lot of kids nowadays run and hide, and Chubba's took everything head on. And, Heinrich continues to grow and develop, so they're all three guys we have confidence in.
Tonight, you'll hear more from that press conference with Matt Rhule and Donovan Raiola. Keeping with the quarterback room, Jeff Sims was named today as one of the 35 quarterbacks on the preseason watch list for the Davey O'Brien Award. This award is given to the best college quarterback every year. Sims is the third Husker named to a national award watch list, joining Brian Buschini for the Ray Guy Award and Ben Scott for the Remington Trophy. Turning to the realm of worldwide sports, yesterday, the U.S. men's basketball team began their FIBA World Cup preparation with the first of 5 exhibition games. The U.S. went on to beat Puerto Rico 117-74. They play Slovenia next on August 12th. The FIBA World Cup is slated to begin August 25th, with play being held in the Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia. Switching to MLB scores, the Phillies beat the Nationals 8-4, and 3 games just started. The Tigers and Twins and Marlins and Reds are scoreless after 1, and the Cardinals are up 1-0 in the top of the second. Our sports sticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 1 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
They fake the handoff. Chubba keeps it himself. Touchdown, Nebraska. What a drive for the Huskers. They take a 6-0 lead. He's out of the pocket and shoved out of bounds. He'll lose a dozen yards. Clear back to the 34-yard line. Williams got shoved into the Husker bench. Quentin Newsom again there, DB.
Dead left. Lindsey gets it through. They stayed with it. And Krause muscles it through a double Buckeye block. Becca Williams, Spring Lake, Texas, serves back right. Nice pass, quick attack. Becca Alec, big red, kaboom.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Coody, and look who it is. The big guy is in studio. Happy birthday. Already got a happy birthday text rolling in. Crypto King in the chat wishing you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
You're spending your birthday with Husker Nation.
I am. This is the first time I've been back on campus since the spring game. It's
Wow.
good. It's good to be back a little bit. I'm looking at this incredible building going up right next to the studio here. I feel like it just gets bigger and bigger every time I walk over
Right?
here. That thing is gorgeous.
I mean, Cole and I were talking about that last night. Even just from when we left the studio on Friday to today or yesterday, like the red roof, the packaging, the red roof is there. This has come out some with the glass at the front. I mean, it's crazy how quickly that's coming.
It's going to be so cool. I mean, I've heard some people that have gotten to walk through it already talking about the locker room and how they have like an LED screen that's like 100 yards long. And I mean, as a recruit, you can't walk into that and not say this is the best facility in the country, which is the whole idea of why they built it, right? It's the arms race in facilities right now. You're seeing it in the NFL, you're seeing it in college. I mean, it is what helps recruit, and it honestly helps you win games. I mean, the better facilities you have, the better you can prepare physically, mentally, and just be more sharp.
Well, and especially now that the way that it's changing, a lot of people maybe not putting as much money into facilities because maybe they pay for play, the NIL stuff, and so this might be one of the last of its kind, like this big and all of this kind of amenities, just because it got approved right before all the things started changing in college athletics.
Yeah, and I mean, we went big. I mean, if it's going to be the last one, it's going to be the bar setter for the rest of the country. There's no doubt about that.
I've heard, too, there's some secrets that we don't know about that we'll know about when it opens.
I'll have to find those out.
Yeah.
I'll have to go dig in a little bit.
I know. So I heard there's some little things that we'll find out once it gets fully open. The locker room, I have seen the locker room. It's massive. And the weight room. And, Corey Campbell is one. He doesn't need all the bells and whistles. He said a 45-pound dumbbell is a 45 dumbbell wherever you lift it. But just the ability to have an entire football team in the same weight room is really huge. That's the biggest thing, is just the space that was needed for this football team. Were you guys able to do that when you were here?
For the most part. I mean, we shared that, the original weight room over there with the volleyball team and the soccer team, but we never were in there at the same time, but we had to break up. I mean, we had 150 guys on the team, so you had to break it up throughout the day in the lift groups. But you're exactly right. I mean, it's not a crazy science. You lift heavy weights and you eat protein, you get bigger. And so they have plenty of space over there to do it now. I mean, everything under one roof is what's going to be really nice, right? Academics, you're going to have food, you're going to have weight room, meeting room. Like, you never have to leave. I'm going to call it the compound. You never have to leave the Husker compound, right? And as a player, that's what you want. You want simplicity. You want to be able to just walk right out of here, go to your classes, do whatever you need to do, and it's going to be fantastic.
We've had a lot of discussions about this really over the last several months and even a couple years, but just the size of a football team. You just said you were part of 150 people in a roster. What do you think is the ideal number for a roster?
Probably about 120, 125. You get the 85 scholarship, but you want to make sure you have those walk-ons. Those are heartbeats of the team, and you always find guys that are huge contributors from the walk-on program. I mean, my best friend, Spencer Long, was a walk-on defensive lineman. They actually really wanted his twin brother out of high school that came as a package. He ended up being an All-American offensive guard, played in league, got drafted in the 3rd round. I mean, you hear it time and time again, but having that many guys on the football teams allows you to have really good practices, right? It allows you to have guys that can rotate in, allows you to have guys that can take extra reps, give good looks on the scout team, and develop more guys. And as you get guys that are older and don't need a ton of reps in the spring or as the year goes on, it's not like you're having to pull guys from the defensive line to play on offensive line or shuffle all over the place. Like, you have quality players at every position. So I think that 120, 125 mark is right about right.
Hall of Famer Spencer Long.
Yeah.
Right?
He is. He's being him and T Magic, 2 teammates there getting inducted in, I think it's the Wisconsin game. Super excited for them. So pumped for those 2 guys.
Greg was trying to get some dirt.
Yeah. On Spencer?
No,
from
from
me.
Spencer on you.
I mean, there's plenty, but he knows that I also have plenty. So that's one of those, you just kind of lock the lips and go to the grave.
We've had several happy birthday texts rolled in for your multiple. See, happy birthday, Jeremiah, and then happy birthday to Jeremiah and Trev Alberts. I totally forgot you share a birthday with Trev Alberts.
I share a birthday with the living legend, Trev Alberts.
I think we talked about this last year.
Probably. It probably comes up about once a year. Probably comes up once a year.
Yeah, once a year. But I think we recorded a podcast on your birthday last year.
Yes, we did, which we got to get back. We're getting back with that, right? Sideline Slice, our friends over Valentino's again, picked up the pod again this year, so super excited about that.
3rd season.
I know, just rolling with it.
And speaking of Valentino's, they're awesome. Our good friend Anthony, who has brought us pizza and treats in the studio before. They're back. But for your birthday, I not only made brownies, Snicker brownies, but I got you a Valentino's dessert pizza because that's your favorite, right?
That is hard to beat.
I couldn't remember though, cherry or apple.
Cherry.
That's what I got.
Oh, big wins for big pogs in the chat.
All right. Well, whatever's left over that the interns don't eat, you'll have to take home to the kids.
That's fine. I'll fight them for it, tooth and nail.
We had a lot of texts and comments about the venison and the game that you cook for your kids. Do your kids like dessert?
Oh, yeah. I mean, what kid doesn't like dessert? I bribed my 4-year-old with ice cream today to run down the block and get a diaper for my 2-year-old, and he didn't want to go. And I was like, I'll give you an extra scoop of ice cream. And he booked it so fast, just moving it. He told the wife the whole bit. I mean, my kids love ice cream. They love cake. They love just about anything.
So the other day, this time of year, when it starts rolling around and guys start hitting the field, someone asked us the other day in the chat, I forgot who said, but something about do you miss it? Does it ever hit you a little bit this time of the year?
My birthday.
Yeah.
Like, my birthday is always, it's just a weird thing because, I mean, since I was 15 years old, I never celebrated a birthday. There was always training camp. I remember there'd be times I come back to, like, after a practice, I'd pick up my phone and have, like, 40 or 50 texts. I'd be like, what is going on? What's happening? What did I miss? And it's all like, hey, happy birthday. I was like, oh, yeah, it's my birthday, right? But, like, this is the time of year. August for me used to be just, it didn't exist. Right, August just was a month that just fugazi, it was gone, right? And then, but now it's like my downtime, which is weird, like, because I recruit for the agency, and then all the kids are in camp, and then all my clients are in camp, and so it's just this weird time that I'm like twiddling my thumbs. I've been playing a lot of golf, but I do miss playing. I don't miss the way my body used to feel, but I do miss strapping it up and going out there and just beating on people.
I have a fall birthday too, so I feel like the same thing. It's like, okay, we got a football game, or it's the night before the football game.
Yes.
We have a sports nightly, something.
Yes.
I mean, my mom always tries to make it a big deal, but I'm like, I gotta work. Sorry.
Yeah, my wife's was August 2nd, and like she played soccer,
Yeah.
so both of us, like our birthdays, were like, should we do something? Or she's coming down after the show. We're gonna go down to the other room and grab a cocktail. It's my favorite
nice.
cocktail place in Lincoln. So super excited to jump in there and get a nice old fashioned.
Speaking of, soccer has an exhibition. It's the first athletic competition of the year tonight. They've got South Dakota State tonight out at Hebner.
The Jacks.
So, yeah, and then they've got Oklahoma on Friday. So, but this kicks it all off. This
Yes.
kicks off the school year. I mean, some people celebrate New Year's in January. We kind of celebrate it here in August.
Yep.
That's when things get rolling.
Yeah,
is
like
in
I
August.
said on Friday, we made it through sports purgatory. We made it. We're here. It's back. We're fine. I got to give out a shout out. My wife's 2013 soccer team's actually getting honored this year because they won the Big Ten a decade ago.
Oh, nice.
So all her teammates are coming back for, I think it's sometime in October. They're all going to come back, crash the house, and it'll be a great time. But
that'll
super
be
excited
fun.
for them to get honored for that too.
I think the soccer team's going to be pretty good this year.
Should they?
Yeah, and they've got 15 of like their 30 players are from the state of Nebraska.
Awesome.
So, but they got everybody coming back that started last year. So I think they're going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be pretty rocking out there at Hebner. So I had something else I was going to ask you about training camp. And, your 21st birthday, how was that?
I had a two-a-day. I had a two-a-day on my 21st birthday. So I think we went and celebrated after the first game. So after the first game, my year that I turned 21, we were able to get back out there.
Cole, do we have a phone call? Not yet. No, not yet. We do have a couple texts rolling in.
People, call. Talk to me. I'm here. I'm excited. It's good to be back.
Speaking of, that's a great plug. 402-413-2400, the Sports Nightly hotline. Hit us up because Sirles is in studio tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. So
Friday party show. Can't wait.
Yes. I said last night it's the Friday party week. So, yes. Okay, so here we go. Jessica, thank you for having Jeremiah. This is from Art in Los Angeles, one of our regular texters. Thank you for having Jeremiah on the show today. Can you ask him to talk about the Northwestern game, Hail Mary game-winning catch?
I mean,
before the ball was snapped on that play, what were you thinking about? Did you actually think the Huskers were going to win?
I mean, honestly, 10 years later, no. I mean, Hail Marys work, 2% of the time, right? I mean, it's a hope and a prayer at that point. But, when he threw it, you kind of had this hope. And then as you're kind of chasing, jogging, going, okay, the game's either over or this is going to be awesome. And you see it happen in real time. I mean, I ran down there. There's a whole special on Big Ten. It runs on all the time. I ended up being at the bottom of the pile. I probably told the story 100 times. Had a panic attack. Had to have my jersey cut off. I'm extremely claustrophobic. Like, I was freaking out. I thought I was going to die. Christine Cotton, Coach Cotton's wife, actually had to help me back to the locker room. Like, everyone's celebrating. I'm laying there. They're cutting my jersey off. Like, it was a whole shindig. But, I still look back on that as that whole year was just full of comebacks like that, just up and down. And I'll never forget that one for sure.
So take us into the huddle then. Were you thinking this is not going to work?
Well, I mean, the initial in the huddle was like, hey, let's just try and scoot it up a little bit further for a field goal or something. I can remember Pliny walked in there and he's like, you have to throw it. And we're like, all right, I guess we're throwing it. Right. And so we walked out there and we put Ron in because he had the bigger arm at the time. And we just heaved one up there for a hope and a prayer and it worked. I mean, like I said, they never work. Like, you see one a year, maybe two a year. And like to see that happen. And then I think we had it happen again the next year against BYU. Like, we've had a couple really good Hail Mary throws here in Memorial.
So how many Hail Marys have you been a part of total, whether it worked or didn't work?
That one, the Northwestern one, and then I guess you could kind of call the Minneapolis Miracle with Diggs a Hail Mary. I mean, it was just a really poor play by the safety, but I mean, that was kind of a same thing. I was sitting on the sideline like, well, I got my truck packed by Monday, back in Lincoln by, oh my gosh, he caught it. Right? Like, so that was another one of those moments of just like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But I got to be a part of two really special, quote unquote, walk-off touchdowns in my career, which were just things that I still get to look back on and reflect and talk about all the time, which is super fun.
Okay, so Carla, again, another one of our regular favorite texters. Happy birthday, Jeremiah. You, Trev, and Dane Todd, the trifecta of Husker Leos.
It's Dane Todd's birthday? He sent me a voice memo text today singing me happy birthday. I did not know it was also his birthday. He's part of we have a 5:30 a.m. washed up has-beens workout crew. And Dane's part of that, the old Surgeon Dane. And so he's in there every morning pumping iron with us. He's still built like a fullback, just no neck, all traps. He could still run through the A-gap today.
Okay, TJ says, happy birthday, Sirles. What is your most anticipated hunt this fall? Elk with your dad.
Oh, 100%. Nailed it. I was out shooting the bow today. I switched to a thumb release, so I'm just getting absolutely dialed in right now.
All right, keep those texts rolling in. We're going to get to a break because we got to get to Matt Rhule press conference. We got a practice report coming up, so we're going to get Sirles' reaction to some of the big news from the press conference today. But keep them rolling in. We'll answer them throughout the show. The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400 is that number. And we're back with Coach Rhule coming up right after this.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $2,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan. Together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus. Insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
There's a new kind of season ticket when you fly from the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Huskers. Now at LNK, choose from fast, affordable, non-stop flights to your favorite vacation spots. All from an airport that's relaxed and hassle-free. It's never been easier to get off the bench and enjoy an adventure with the whole family. Visit GoFlyLNK.com and book your trip today. Let's go.
If unwanted hair is putting you in a prickly situation, give laser hair removal a try. Milan Laser Hair Removal delivers smooth, hair-free skin with permanent results for men and women of all skin tones. So there's no more unwanted stubble, razor burn, or ingrown hairs. Visit any of Milan Laser's 7 Nebraska locations to get 1 free treatment. Ready to never shave again? Call 833-NO-RAZOR or visit MilanLaser.com to book your free treatment and consultation. That's MilanLaser.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, Husker Nation. This is Jim Baldonado with the Home Agency. It's been a stormy summer, but that's why we do what we do. Whether auto, home, crop, farm, or commercial coverage, our agents shine when it comes to providing you with the best coverage and customer service after the sale. Our passion is keeping you protected so you can do more of what you love, like cheering on the Huskers. Give us a call today. Call home, the Home Agency, that is, at 1-800-245-4241. That's 1-800-245-4241.
Hy-Vee makes grocery shopping easy with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Just order online, schedule a pickup or delivery time, then leave the shopping to us. Download the Hy-Vee app or go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. It's easy to create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Plus, with Hy-Vee Aisles Online, pickup is free on orders over $24.95, and delivery is free with the Hy-Vee Plus membership. Save time, shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. more powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans, we need your support in celebrating the 100th year of Memorial Stadium while cheering on the Huskers this fall. Purchase an all-new Husker football Big Ten 3-game package today for only $100. This package gets you a ticket to the Northwestern, Purdue, and Maryland home games, all for just $100. A very limited amount of Husker football single-game tickets are also on sale. Tickets are only available while supplies last. Purchase yours today at huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red!
There's no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and have been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbrothers.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Nebraska Athletics.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Jeremiah Sirles also joining us in studio tonight, as Greg Sharpe is out for the rest of the week in Canada on vacation, but the texts are rolling in. I'm trying to keep up with them. Parker says, happy birthday from Edison, Nebraska. John in Omaha says, happy birthday, Jeremiah. I know you have your agency business, and that's great, but you need to be in a college or NFL football play-by-play booth. He would be awesome. John in Omaha. John, I agree. I absolutely agree, and I think you got some
We got some opportunities. We got some opportunities in the works for the fall.
Stay tuned on that.
There's some opportunities out there. Who knows where, but super excited. I loved calling the spring game on BTN. That was awesome. Again, they approached me about possibly doing the La Tech game this year, but as we mentioned in the earlier segment, got the elk hunt. Got to go out there. I got 10 days a year to go out there with my dad, and I can't miss that.
You know, I've always said this, and I'm not just saying this because Sirles is sitting here. I've said this on the show. I've said it to Greg, but I have learned the most about the game of football because I did not grow up with football because my high school did not play football, but I have learned the most about football from offensive linemen just because I think they're the position that really knows the most, other than maybe a quarterback, maybe linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, as an O-lineman, you have to understand, people think you just understand your little box, but like the great O-linemen that I got to learn from in the league, you know, the Nick Hardwicks, the guys that played a ton that are going to be Hall of Famers, like they taught me, like as an O-lineman, you have to know what all 11 guys are doing on the field at all times because that'll tell you what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? And once I started looking at it from that, it really broke the game down in such a easier light for me. And then now that I'm on this side and I sit on this side of the mic, like my whole premise, I love to try and explain to people that you can make football simple, right? I want the person that can listen to our show, listen to our podcast, or I have another podcast called the O-Line Committee that we break down NFL film. I want to be able to listen and understand so that when they watch the game on Sundays, they're not just watching the ball, but they're watching stuff away from the ball, or why this play set up the next play, or why this play didn't work, or why that play did work, and the scheme and everything behind it. And I love breaking the game of football down to the tiny little game within the game that I call it, right? The one-on-one matchups, the front five versus the front seven, the DBs versus the receivers. Like there's little games within the game that are happening every single snap, which is just so fun to break down and look at.
And here's another text for you. Jessica, first of all, happy birthday. Jeremiah, could you ask if he is concerned with the injuries on the O-line at this point in camp, especially Teddy, since he's coming off an injury? So Coach Rhule's we're going to get to Coach Rhule here in just a minute. I just wanted to get to a few of these texts, but Teddy is not a long-term injury, and I believe he's the only one at this point that's significantly hurt on the O-line.
Right, and I've never been a part of a training camp where every O-lineman has made it every day.
Yeah.
Right? It's a position where things happen, right? You get rolled up on, someone gets thrown into your legs, or you step wrong, roll an ankle, whatever it may be. So I'm not concerned. I mean, it's August 8th, right? We'd see 20 days, right? We got 20 days till kickoff. I mean, these kids are young, they're healthy, they're vibrant, and they can bounce back quickly. Like, I roll an ankle, I'm down on IR for like 3 weeks. But like, these kids they're good to go. And I'm also not concerned about the tackle position really that much either, because we have, in my opinion, 3 quality tackles. You have Teddy, you have Bryce, and you have Turner. All those guys have played, Teddy hasn't played a lot, but like those other 2 guys have played a lot of football in the Big Ten at the tackle positions, so not really concerned with either one of those, that position. I'm really excited for the interior, right? You got Ben Scott, you got Nuri, you got, not Ethan Piper, who's also in there, but also Turner can slide into guard too. So I'm excited to see what that matchup inside looks like. But overall, like, the praises that have come out of camp of the offensive linemen so far have all been good things.
We're going to keep talking offensive line throughout the rest of this show and probably the rest of this week, but we're going to hear from Coach Raiola coming up. But first, we've got to get to some of the big news from the head coach, Matt Rhule, who met with the media today on today's version of the practice report.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
All right. Well, we just mentioned, we were just talking about Teddy, but let's hear the rest of the injury update from the head coach.
The specifics of injuries right now, but I'll give you any year-long thing. So obviously Brody's out for the year. Maverick Noonan hurt his knee on Saturday, out for the year. Not an ACL or anything like that, just kind of a freak thing. So he'll have surgery this week. Be about 6 months. We'll be fine. We'll be as good as new. But obviously our hearts go out to both Brody and Maverick. So everyone else is trending on being ready. If they're out right now.
At this point, to only have, knock on wood, those injuries, not that those aren't significant, but sometimes, like you said, I mean, it's fall camp, it's inevitable that you're going to have injuries.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing it not just at the college level, across the NFL, everywhere. You're seeing guys go down for the year, and it sucks. It's the worst part of this game is injuries, but football's also one of the only sports that has 100% injury rate. Like, if you play football long enough, you will get hurt, right? It's just inevitable. But we have a great training staff here. Those guys that are out for the year, it's kind of a blessing that it happens during camp, because they should be ready to go for spring and ready to go next year. The guys that it really sucks and really hurts for, you watch those guys tear ACLs in like November, right? Like the second to last game of the year, and then they're going to be out all of spring, barely get back in time for training camp. So if you're going to have a season-ending injury, the time to do it is training camp.
All right, well, let's get to this one to give you plenty of time to dissect this soundbite, because I know you're going to love it. What kind of offensive line does Matt Rhule want this Husker offense to have?
I'd like to be a big, physical, offensive line that can do a lot of things, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we want to run the ball and stop the run, and we want to protect our quarterback and affect their quarterback. So, we need big, powerful guys up there that are smart and can handle all the looks. And our defense certainly provides a lot of challenges. I mean, they see a different defense on every play. So, they're training and they're coming along.
Take it away, my friend.
Big, powerful. He missed the most important part. Nasty. I want big, powerful, nasty, big dudes up front, right? And you can tell that's what he wants. When your head coach says, we're going to run the ball, like, inject that directly into my veins for the next 6 months. It's all I want to hear. All I want to hear is how we ran the ball. I want to break down shows next January and be like, man, this Husker rushing attack is just off the charts, right? That all starts with the guys up front.
Well, the guy that's coaching them, Coach Raiola, who was the holdover from last year, we've heard a lot about, this is a coaching staff that has spent a lot of time together, coached a lot of football together, but Coach Raiola has seemed to fit right in, and a lot of that is his style and the kind of coaching style that he meshes really well with the principles that Coach Rhule wants to implement in that offensive line. So Coach Rhule was asked specifically about Coach Raiola.
Yeah, Donovan's a lion. He's the standard is the standard for him. He has his players back to the nth degree, but he holds them to it. There's a lot of coaches who I think most of our young people these days are dying from the disease of low expectations. We make excuses for young people. Young people will rise and meet expectations if you hold them to that. And no one on our staff does it better than Donnie. He has these expectations from the way they report to practice to the way they practice. So he's kind of the O-line coach I've been waiting for. I love working with him.
Got to have that. You got to have an O-line coach that is not afraid to get after guys. It's not afraid to hold guys accountable. Rhule nailed it, right? I mean, you live from a guys that if you have a coach that is going to let you get away with things or going to let a standard slip for one reason or the other because he's afraid of being hard on you or you can't take it or you don't have thick skin, you have no chance to grow, right? And this is an offensive line unit that really needs to take a big step this year, right? There's a lot of guys on that. I named a few. I mean, Teddy, Turner, Bryce, Nuri, like Ben Scott, those guys have played a lot of football. Like, they have to take a next step, and Rhule knows it. We all know it here in the state. We will go as far as this O-line takes us. And so to have a coach at the helm that is not afraid to grab a guy by the face mask and say, I need more out of you, because he knows that he has more out of you. At the same time, I bet you Raiola is a guy that'll bring you into his office and be like, man, are you okay? What's going on, right? That balance back and forth of having the guy that'll command the most out of you because he wants the most, but also know the time to pull back and make sure everything's good and good between the ears and you're good physically. Those are the special coaches. And from what I've heard, that's the kind of coach Raiola is.
Yeah, just interviewing basically everybody on this offensive line. And that's what they say. I mean, he is so hard on them and he has high expectations and he's going to let them know when they're not meeting those expectations. But then at the same time, they love him so much off the field. And that's a hard balance, to balance being both the hard rear, the hard butt on the field, and being the guy that can be that father figure, that brother figure, that lovable guy off the field. That's not an easy balance a lot of times.
Yeah, I was golfing with my buddy Sam Tavis. He played in the MLB, he played baseball at Waverly, and we were both joking. We think the term players coach is the dumbest thing imaginable, right? Like, you hear guys like, oh, he's such a players coach. Like, well, what does that mean? Like, there are players and there are coaches. Right, there has to be a line. There's a line of separation there, because as you start blending the two, like, you can almost see them as equals. Like, yes, you can love your coach and your coach can love you, but at the end of the day, you have to have respect for him and he's going to have respect for you, but he is the caller. He is the guy that can control your playing time. He's the guy that can control how you play, what you play, and you have to rise to what he expects from you. But when you also, on the flip side, you love him and you know that he loves you, you're going to play harder for him. Like, you're going to play harder for him. There's no cliques in the room. Like, if there is a clique, it's like, oh, I'm getting screwed by the coach. That gets squashed really quick because the older guy's like, no, he just demands more out of you. And if you don't hold him to that standard, you're not going to play. And that's how you develop a culture within the culture, right? You have the big culture with Matt Rhule, what he's doing. But the old line room, as you know, Gabe Eichert at OU, like, all those guys, we're our own little unit. We're our own, if you put us in the dark, feed us crap, let us grow like mushrooms, right? That's what we are, right? Just put us over there. But when you have a room that can thrive and do that by itself and self-police, it's awesome.
I thought it was funny. Ben Scott kind of said something exactly along those lines the other night when I interviewed him about, it just kind of fits right in wherever the O-line, no matter what group you're going into, you just can kind of slide right in and kind of mesh.
It's why I recruit O-linemen for the agency, right? It's the same reason. Like, I know that I can sit across for just like this from an offensive lineman, and within 5 minutes, we're going to be best friends.
Are you calling me an offensive lineman?
I mean, you could have been. You could have been in a former life. I think that you could have been. You would have fit in with the O-lineman. You don't put up with the BS. You're all about the ball. You've been a good O-lineman. You'd have been a good. You're missing the size and stature, but you'd have been a good O-lineman.
I feel like I've said this before. I feel like I speak O-line a little bit.
Okay,
we got to get to the final soundbite here from Coach Rhule, and just the evening practice, the thoughts of having an evening practice schedule and practicing underneath the lights.
My thought process with 3 days in a row, like when I move it to the night, I get like 8 more hours of recovery, right? So even in season, you'll see we go Tuesday morning and then we go Wednesday evening. So that extra 8 to 10 hours of recovery might be the difference between a tweak and no tweak. So we do that for recovery. But also, I like to change the schedule. Like, we're taking the guys to the women have their first soccer match today. So we're taking them into the soccer game tonight, right? I want them to, like, wake up every day and not know exactly during training camp what the schedule is. Like, we like being comfortable. We like rigid schedules, but the game's not rigid. So I like to change things up on them. So tomorrow they're like, what do we have? Oh, we have offense, left, defense, meet. And then, they just have to learn to adjust, right? So, but I also think we need to get under the lights. We need to catch balls in the lights. So it's being under lights. It's a little more recovery, and it's just something to change up we're kind of in that week right now where everyone's like, when's camp over? So just something to kind of change it a little bit.
I love it. Football is an imperfect game, right? When things go off the rails, you have to be able to adjust on the fly. You have to be able to adapt on the fly. And if you've never done that before, because like Coach Rhule said, if you have the same schedule from August 1st all the way up until when season starts, and then all of a sudden something shifts, you can really throw people off. I was a big routine guy. like I had my own routine, and if I got out of that routine, I'd feel shaky, not right. But the ability to say, hey, we've practiced in the morning, we've played in the evening, right? And that comes from the NFL, because the NFL teams do that a lot too, right? If we're playing an evening game, we'll actually do some evening practices, right, to get the body adjusted of, hey, I know you're used to waking up and getting ready and going, but like you have to now be ready to go at 7 p.m. and it's on the East Coast and you're a West Coast team, so it's really like 5 p.m. or whatever it is. Like, it's good to just get the body used to those things. I also love he's taking the team out to the Husker soccer game.
Yeah.
Like, I heard him just talk about that. You know, that just carries over from like the Husker Olympics thing he did in the spring. It just shows he wants these players out in the community. He wants these players involved in the other athletics here. And again, just building a great culture. I am so in on Matt Rhule. It's not even funny how in I am on Matt Rhule.
Big fan. All right, we got to get to another break here. We've already gone way too long here in this segment. But to Hogemeyer, local means something greater. Raise local, raise right here in Husker Nation. Learn more at therightseed.com.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $2,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Did you know that Lincoln's water is 4 times more hard than what is recommended? This will shorten the life of your water heater, harm pipes through mineral buildup, and is bad for your hair, skin, and clothes. What's the solution? A water softener. Go online to jhlincoln.com to learn more about water softeners and our flexible financing offers, or call John Henry's 435-5555.
John Henry's Plumbing.
Only in Nebraska will you find a historic, record-breaking event like Nebraska Volleyball Day to honor women's athletics. The University of Nebraska Foundation invites you to be a part of Only in Nebraska, a campaign for our university's future. Another historic, record-breaking effort to engage 150,000 donors to build the future Nebraska needs right now. It's all possible, and it's all happening here, only in Nebraska. Give to support NU at onlyinnebraska.org.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For new Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So we could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip.
Works for me.
New Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Oh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling his favorite Luxair dealer. Trusted since 1950, with Luxair you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Road Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red!
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Honk if you love trucks and bucks. The Nebraska Lottery's most popular scratch
Our
ticket
planet.
is back, and you could win one of 8 beautiful new blue trucks. Visit any Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000. I wonder why they went with blue and not red.
I don't know. I'm a big blue guy too, though.
I like blue.
I like blue as well.
But I just wondered.
There's a lot of red in this state.
All right,
There's a
I'm
lot of
Jessica
red.
Coody, Jeremiah Sirles. I'm just warning you, this is going to be a quick segment because we've naturally have talked too long in the first 2 segments. But you brought something up that I wanted to go back to about that's coming from the NFL and the scheduling and making sure that guys can handle the schedule changes. Another thing is some of the staff that they brought in about the recovery. We've heard that a lot about guys talking about their bodies and how they've been able to, their bodies will feel the best they've ever felt, because a lot of the sports science that they've learned on the NFL level, they're trying to apply. How big is that? And learning from that part of it at the NFL, at the pro level, where you have to do it every single day and it's a whole nother level and it's your job, and implementing that here in college.
Yeah, I mean, it's different because in the NFL, it's your responsibility as a player to invest the money in yourself to recover like that. This team has certain modalities, they have certain things, and the NFL is getting better about taking care of your player. But really, I mean, the onus is on the player itself. But I mean, you hear guys like Russell Wilson say, I spent $1 million on my body last year. Well, the freshman from Scotts Bluff doesn't have $1 million. So what do? We build them a facility that has everything in it, and then we teach them how to take advantage of that. And as a player, if you can take advantage of that, it's going to turn into better play, which then turns into more availability, which then makes you on the field, which makes you a better player. So he saw what the guys at the next level did to take care of their body. Now he's bringing the resources so that everyone on the team, regardless if you're a starter to a freshman walk-on, you have those resources available, which is just going to teach you to become a better player and teach you what it's like to be a pro. Nick
Henrich, Ty Robinson, both 2 guys that had injuries in the spring, and they've both addressed as a couple of the guys that even Marquise Buford as well. They've got a strength and conditioning coach, it's a trainer too, and just a hybrid of being able to balance. It's not just 2 separate entities at this point. Now they're just all intertwined, and even the nutrition is intertwined. They're all kind of working together. That's got to be big too, is just like having a strength coach that understands the recovery part of it too.
Yeah, and you have a strength coach that understands what the training staff is seeing. Hey, we're seeing a lot of soft tissue, or hey, we're seeing some joint. Like, so how do we tweak our strength program? How do we switch around some of the speed stuff we do, or some of the mobility stuff we do, right? When those 2 are working together, then it's like, okay, well, we had an uptick in soft tissue, let's back off on this end. Or, hey, we're good, let's push more on the strength side right now, everyone's feeling good. And when you're all talking and no one's battling, right? Sometimes you get caught in battles of coaches like, well, we need this guy back right now. It's like, well, he's not quite healthy. But you can talk to the strength coach about, okay, what can we do to do this, and modify certain things in there. When you have everyone working on the same page, it's just really good recipe for success.
All right, let me get to a couple more texts. Hi, Jessica and Jeremiah. Happy birthday, Jeremiah. I'm having a burrito for you. Gotta love that. And people are eating food for you.
Love burritos. I think it was for me or for you?
Having a burrito to you.
That's fair.
For your birthday.
I hope it's a beef and cheese.
What year did you graduate? Brian from Johnson.
2009 out of high school, 2013 out of the old Huskers here.
So you were the last team that played at Colorado, right?
Yeah, 2009 was my true freshman year. I didn't play, but I redshirted, and then Colorado came to us in 2010. We beat the brakes off of them then, and then we disappeared to the Big Ten.
I joked about this last out of the show. The Arizona AD said that he wasn't going to Morgantown. And he said, I'll assign the deputy AD to go to Morgantown. I went to Morgantown. It's not easy to travel. The fans are not very pleasant. They're really mean. They yell really mean things. How does Colorado compare on the mean scale or the nasty scale? Because I've heard that it's pretty rowdy.
It can be pretty rowdy. I don't know. I haven't really heard. I mean, they've been terrible for a decade and a half now, so I don't know how much that violence still there. I mean, I would hear stories like when it snowed, they'd put batteries and snowballs and throw them at players. And
oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, it used to get rowdy back when the Big 12 days when those two battles. But I think that's going to be it's going to get stirred a little bit. I mean, if anything Deion can do, he can stir the pot with the best of them. So he's going to have that fan base ripping and ready to go.
And that's their first home game.
Yeah. That's the home opener.
Yeah,
it's gonna be rowdy.
Debut.
Rowdy. You've been to Boulder? Have you been to the stadium?
No, I haven't.
It's so cool. Folsom Field is up there for some of the coolest stadiums in college football.
Okay, so what was the rowdiest, meanest atmosphere that you played
Texas
in?
A&M.
Really?
2010, Texas A&M night game. We were 9th in the country. They were 7th, and it was rowdy. rowdy.
That's fun, though, right?
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, Oklahoma State, too, where they're right behind you, right? And they're smacking.
Did they have the paddles?
They're smacking those stupid paddles on the side. Like, yeah, Iowa's right behind you, too. Yeah.
I mean, Oklahoma State, I don't know how that's legal. There's not enough room.
It shouldn't be. They're literally like, they can lean over and like spit on you. They're right there.
Spank a referee in the behind with that paddle. That's 100%. How close it is.
Yeah.
It's wild. But were you a player? Because I always think this is fascinating. Some players are wired by playing on the road, and some people prefer being home. Which for you?
I loved being on the road. There was nothing, especially on offense, right? Being on the road on offense, it's loud, it's crazy, and you put a drive together, and it's just silent. Like when you score a touchdown, and you can only hear your sideline and you guys cheering. There's no sweeter sound.
Were you the player that went to the bench and were talking trash to the people that were?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I'd let those people know behind me. But, I mean, when you dish it, you have to be able to take it, right? And they'd be the same ones where we'd have a 3-and-out or a fumble or something. They'd be sitting right back there, John. But, oh, yeah, I always let those people behind us know.
Hilarious. All right, keep those texts rolling in. The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400 is that number to text or call. We're back to wrap up hour number 1 right after this.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Okay, men, huddle up. Look, we're playing one of the best football teams in the country today, and quite frankly, we don't have a chance against these guys. Let's face it, we're going to get slaughtered out there. But the good news is that the Nebraska Lottery has scratch and lotto prizes that any one of us could win.
Yeah!
After the game, we're taking the team bus to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer to see if we can win big.
Let's go!
So let's get out there and lose with pride.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Road Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Is your garbage disposal not disposing? You had one job. Drains backing up can cause a horrible smell in a home, damaged pipes, and so much more. Some signs that your garbage disposal may be going out include frequent clogs, abnormal and louder noises than normal, or water is leaking from the bottom, just to name a few. John Henry's is here to take care of all the pipes and drains in your home. Call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woodhouse Chevy is making car buying better, now with 2 convenient locations in Missouri Valley, Iowa, and our newest location in Omaha at 112th and Dodge. Plus, going on now, receive up to $6,000 off MSRP on the 2023 Chevy Silverado. Visit us in-store or online anytime to shop our current offers and inventory. Find new roads with Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley and now in Omaha.
With Blue Credit, see dealer for details. Offer expires 7/31/2023.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. UNL is the only Big Ten university in Nebraska, part of the only conference with an academic alliance. Being in the Big Ten means superior academics, unique student opportunities, better resources, and world-class research programs. With 72% of undergraduate students receiving scholarships or financial aid, UNL offers a Big Ten education at great value.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final few minutes here of hour number 1 of Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody with Jeremiah Sirles. I did want to we got the text just rolling in for you tonight. This is the most top in the text line has been in a while. But there was one that said, I'm trying to pull it up on my app, but read that one right there about the student section. Can you read that from here?
Where are we at?
The
far right
left corner.
Far left corner.
Here it is.
Here it is. I believe last time Nebraska played Colorado in the Big 12, their student section got ejected for throwing trash on the field. I don't remember that. I don't necessarily know if I can remember that.
Is the student section not right behind the bench?
I don't think so. I think they're in the end zone. I know. I mean, when they were so bad when we played there last time, they put tarps up in one end zone to cover bleachers because nobody came to the game.
Wow.
Nobody came to the game, and obviously it was 80% red when we showed up. And I mean, the last time we were there, it was a lot of red too.
Here's another text for you. Happy birthday, Jeremiah. After getting hyped up about the last 2 head coaches followed by their brutal downfalls, how do we manage our expectation as fans? But, you just said how much you're in on Coach Rhule. But it is a fair question about, thinking he might need time to turn this thing around.
And honestly, to be fair, who got hyped up about Mike Riley? I mean, I don't think there was a lot of hype about Mike Riley. Everyone was like, woo, Grandpa's coming. But I will say there was a lot of hype about Coach Frost. But I think for me, watching the proven track record that Rhule has, and I know everyone's going to say, well, he went to the NFL. That's a different beast. You cannot compare the college and coaches in the NFL.
You're not recruiting your players.
It's not the same thing.
It's not your culture.
It's not the same thing at all. You're dealing with grown men. But the way Rhule's come in and implemented his culture, implemented what he's done with his staff, and the way that I see him going about his day-to-day, the way I can talk to and hear from players of how he's approaching things, being at spring, seeing how he runs practices, he's the real deal. He's the real deal. He's got this thing. He has a vision. Obviously, we gave him 9 years to do it. And I really do think with time, he's going to turn this place around.
I think if you go back and watch basically the Hard Knocks type piece that was put out last night, is pretty transparent. He believes in that. He wants to, put it all out there. I think you saw some of the speeches, the raw speeches and conversations he had with the team. It's, to me, and he's said this multiple times, I did a segment today and with one of the members of the staff that said this is the easiest transition that they've been a part of since when they've had to take over. And so I think they believe that this team that's been in place wants to win, and they're buying into the culture that's in place. So I'm with you. I think that he's doing what needs to be done, and this is a team that's also buying in probably a lot quicker than what he's dealt with in the past too, is when he took over college football programs. All right, we got to get to a break here, but hour number 2 coming next. We got plenty of offensive line talk as Coach Raiola was at the mic today after practice, so we're going to hear all about that and get Coach Sirles.
Never.
Coach Sirles' thoughts on that. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Meet water's bubblier and more energetic best friend, Bubbler Antioxidant Sparkling Water. With tons of flavors, there's one for every occasion. Interviewing for your dream job, hitting the beach, or going on an epic road trip? Pop the top on your favorite Bubbler flavor and awesome antioxidants swoop in to balance your body and focus your mind. Right before a boost of natural caffeine shows up to save your day. There's a benefit in every bubble and a happier you just waiting to rise up. Find out more at Drink Bubbler on Instagram.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Good evening. I'm David Swotek, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Husker football coach Matt Rhule spoke to the media. He was asked about the quarterback room, and here's what he had to say.
I think the quarterbacks are playing really well. Jeff has done a really good job. He's understanding situationally what we want from him. Chubba has made huge leaps, in my opinion. I thought he had a great summer. I think he's having a really good camp. I'm really proud of Chubba. We came to him and challenged him in the spring, and he's done nothing but respond. It's a credit to him and his family that a lot of kids nowadays run and hide, and Chubba's took everything head on. And, Heinrich continues to grow and develop, so they're all three guys we have confidence in.
Keeping with the quarterback room, Jeff Sims was named today as one of 35 quarterbacks on the preseason watch list for the Davey O'Brien Award. This award is given to the best quarterback every year. Sims is the third Husker named to a national award watch list, joining Brian Buschini for the Ray Guy Award and Ben Scott for the Remington Trophy. Turning to the realm of worldwide sports, yesterday, the U.S. men's basketball team began their FIBA World Cup preparation with the first of 5 exhibition games. The U.S. beat Puerto Rico 117-74. They play Slovenia next on August 12th. The FIBA World Cup is slated to begin August 25th, with play being held in the Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia. Switching to MLB scores, the Phillies beat the Nationals 8-4. The Tigers are ahead of the Twins 3-0 through 5. The Marlins and Reds are tied at 1-1 after 4. And the Cardinals are up against the Rays 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit the 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Nebraska Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
They fake the handoff. Chubba keeps it himself. Touchdown, Nebraska. What a drive for the Huskers. They take a 6-0 lead. He's out of the pocket and shoved out of bounds. He'll lose a dozen yards. Clear back to the 34-yard line. Williams got shoved into the Husker bench. Quinn Newsom again there, DB.
Get left. Lindsay gets it through. They stayed with it. And Krause muscles it through a double Buckeye block.
Becca Williams, Spring Lake, Texas, serves back right. Nice pass, quick attack. Becca, Alec, Big Red, kaboom!
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly on Jeremiah Sirles' birthday, Trev Albert's birthday. Who else?
I'm not sure.
Dane Todd?
Dane Todd. Yeah, old Dr. Dane Todd.
And for his birthday, Jeremiah Sirles is giving us a birthday present, joining us in studio.
And just crushed some of that Valentino's dessert pizza you brought in.
I love it. Crushed. It's so good. I've tried to be good. I know you have done really well too, but gosh, it's so good.
It's my birthday.
It's so
Calories
good.
don't count. Calories don't count on your birthday.
And Bell's is a great sponsor of ours.
Yeah,
so that's why I was like, I got to stop by, get
100%.
some dessert pizza. It's one of your favorites. I love it. I'm just glad I picked cherry right. All right. Well, we've got some O-line to talk about. So Coach Raiola was also met with the media today after practice. It was his turn up to the mic. I feel like he's getting more comfortable with doing this media thing. It can be a lot. I feel like it can be overwhelming doing Nebraska media,
You
right?
also have to remember, he's never ran his own room until he got here, right? He was an assistant O-line coach for the Bears. No one interviews the assistant O-line coach in the NFL. No one, right? So when he shows up here and he takes over a position that is like born and bred Nebraska, right? It's head coach, O-line coach, right? Like they are basically the two most sought after guys at this school. So yeah, he's gotten a lot better. You can tell he was a little introverted at first, but he loves his guys. He goes out there, and the thing I love about him too, he will stand at the podium and take the arrows for his players.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He's never going to throw his players under the bus. He's never going to throw his unit under the bus. He may go shut that door, and there may be some choice words inside that room, but when he's standing out in front of the media, in front of that microphone, he's going to take all the bullets for them.
Which is a big part of why his guys want to go to battle for him.
100%.
All right, well, let's get to the first clip we have from Coach Raiola, and it's depth at the center position, which Sirles says is going to be really, really important. So what does that look like beyond Ben Scott?
We got a couple guys working there. You know, Justin Evans-Jenkins, he's doing a great job for us. You know, he's a developing player, and he's improving a lot. You know, we got other guys back there, too. You know, we can move guys in there, too. So.
You can tell he's been yelling a little bit at practice, right?
he's got the week 2 camp voice going right now. Just a little hoarse, got to get the water. But you know, he touched on about being able to move guys in there, right? Like you and I talked about it off air. But you want to go into a season with eight offensive linemen that you feel could start for you right then, right? You got to have your 5, then you got to have your swing tackle, your swing interior, and then your true backup center. If you can go into a season with 8 guys that you feel really comfortable with, and knowing that if one of those guys has to come off the field, there's not going to be a drastic drop-off from when the backup has to go in there, you can feel really good, because just like training camp, very rarely do the starting 5 make it all 12 games without getting dinged at one point in time.
On the line, which guys do you think maybe could potentially play center at the next level?
Ben Scott.
Yeah.
I think Ben Scott, you know, I've heard a lot of good things about Ethan Piper. I worry slightly about his size. You know, just all I do is scout players for a living now, right? So I'm going to go to my scout mode here. You know, I look at guys like Ben Scott who have the position flex, right? He played tackle at Arizona State, moved into center. The NFL loves these athletic centers now that can run and move and pin and pull and do things, right? I got
a.k.a. Cam Jurgens.
Cam Jurgens, right? You got a Cody Mock out of North Dakota State last year, the long red hair, no front teeth. You know, he got drafted in the 2nd because he went down to the Senior Bowl and played all 5 positions. He played center, guard, and tackle, right? So position flex is huge, you know, so interior there, I think Nuri has a shot to go be kind of a low-round PFA-type player as well. But I think Ben Scott's going to get drafted next year.
All right, let's move on. Next clip we have from Coach Raiola. He was asked about Sam Sledge, but overall just the younger players in his room.
You know, all those young guys are working really hard to understand the standard that we work at, right? And as a young guy, you know, you learn a lot of offense, right? So at times, you know, you're thinking too much and trying to figure things out, but you can see flashes from them, all of them, really. And, you know, they're just getting better and better each day.
How many times have I heard that from you about the transition from high school to college, and you're like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, you are not ready for it in any way, shape, and form, especially if you just get here in the summer, right? You're getting your feet wet with how do I lift? How do I eat? How do I do all things? Oh, by the way, here's a brand new playbook. Here's brand new techniques. Figure it out. I mean, you really see young players, you can really start to see a difference about 2 weeks into camp for the players that start getting it or the players that are going to take a little bit more time. And the young players, he nailed it. When you think, you stink. Right, that's a coach speak forever and always. When you're out there trying to think, what's the play call, what's my assignment, what's the snap count, like all those things, you're going to play slow and you're going to play hesitant because you're not fully confident in what you're doing. Once you gain trust in your playbook, gain trust in your technique, you can start playing faster and playing more free. And the biggest thing I think Raiola talks on too, I've heard Rhule say it too, is you can't play afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to make a mistake, do it going 100 miles an hour, playing with high effort, and then we can correct you in the film room. But if you're playing slow and you make a mistake, now that's the double whammy, right? That's when you start compounding on those things. And so as a young player, you don't want to go out there and make a ton of mistakes, but the biggest thing you can do is just play hard, bust your ass, and you'll be just fine.
You know, and how many times have you talked about this and alluded to this on the podcast or any conversations we have about the offensive line, but the building of an O-line, and it's years in the making. And so for this young group coming in, I know they're excited about some of those young guys, but they're probably not going to be ready. But for them to be learning under a group like what you got this year, guys that will only be here for a year, like Ben Scott's going to be done after this year. Nuri, this is his last year. Turner Corcoran may be done. So for them to be able to get acclimated and have their first year in college football learning from a group like this, how big is that?
It's huge. I mean, we talked about the O-line's the one position you really can't just keep plucking from the portal and hoping to build a great room, right? You have to build your O-line from within. You have to develop guys. You have to get them in here, teach them a culture, teach them what they do. And then they just learn, again, from the older guys. And that goes back to what we talked about in the first hour of talking about, like, if you have an older O-line room that can run itself, police itself, hold each other accountable, hang out with each other, love on each other, like, that's the best O-line room. And so when you have a group of veterans that are pulling the young guys with them and they set the standard and they hold themselves to that standard, those young guys have no choice but to fall in line. And if they don't, a good O-line room is going to make them, or they're just going to basically be like, hey, until you figure it out, you sit in the back of the room, right? You sit in the back room and you shut up and you listen. And then once you figure it out and you go out and you start earning our trust and you earn our respect, then we'll bring you more into the fold. But respect is earned, not given in an O-line room.
Here's another thing that we have talked a lot about, but just that it's a process with a new coach, learning the technique, how the expectations from that coach. It's not something that you just pick up immediately. So Coach Raiola was asked about just the importance of going into year number 2.
I know I've spoken about this before. You know, offensive line play is such a process, right? A process of understanding the technique, and the way we block is a lot different than most people, right? And so they're just working. They worked hard all last year, all off season, and now they're getting more comfortable. And once you believe, it's fun to watch.
That statement's curious to me. If we block differently than most, you know, I think you're seeing a change in the NFL, and I always go to the NFL because that's the standard, right? The idea of running off the football as an offensive lineman is something that's really changed probably in the last decade, right? Forever and always, you see the old linemen doing the little waddle steps, right? They look like little ducklings. And like now it's turned into, the game has become so fast, and the players on the defense have become so fast. Like, you can't waddle off the ball anymore. You got to run. And that's one thing I heard Coach Raiola over and over again when I was at spring practice is run off the ball, run. And it just gets you in a habit of learning how to run with a base, right? It's different, right? You can run and sprint and do all those things, but as an old lineman, you have to learn how to run and get to your spot and get to your landmark, but you have to have a base under you when you're doing it, right? If you're running like a sprinter and your feet are close together, you're going to get knocked out. But if you can run with a base, get to your spot, and then have the power to then change direction and then the power to unload into a guy coming forward on you, like those are the kind of things that Raiola is trying to implement and Raiola is trying to get, because that's what the NFL is. He saw that when he was with Chicago. And that's every O-line coach I talk in the NFL is like, I need these guys running off the ball. And I watch these O-linemen that are running off the ball in college, and then I get them pre-draft training wise. I'm like, no, you got to run. They're like, I am. It's like, no, you're walking. You got to run. Right, like it's a big change from what a lot of guys, especially at the high school level, are teaching, because they're still teaching the run with your feet wide, right? Waddle, get good. You just got to be able to go.
Were you a waddler?
We were for a while. You know, we waddled in high school for sure, right? We did the board drill of like baby steps. And then I remember when I got in the NFL, my line coach was like, no more of that. You just run. Run. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, get from point A to point B as fast as possible. I'm like, all right, you figure it out or you get ran by.
All right, that takes us into this next one. How to finish. What he's looking for when you say how to finish.
You know, but that's the standard, right? Finishing, right? You're not going after people. That's just how you block, right? Either you do it or you don't. There's only one standard. And if you don't do it in practice, right, when it's a critical situation in the game, you won't get it. So we're smart with our teammates. We make sure we take care of our teammates because they are our teammates. And but we just be smart.
How does it change when you get those full pads on in fall camp?
There's taking care of your teammates, but then there's also letting your teammates know like no crap will be handled as an offensive lineman, right? Like, if you have a rib shot in practice, you're going to take it. You're going to take it. And Raiola's right. If you don't take it in practice, you don't get in the habit of taking it, right? Like, you never finish guys on the ground in practice because that's how guys get hurt. But if you're in practice and you got a guy on skates and you feel him tipping, you're not going to let off, right? You're not just going to be like, oh, hold on. Like, you might not bury him, but you're not going to just, if you get a chance to bury a guy, like, you're going to put him on the ground, but you'll help him back up. But those are habits you just have to create. You don't just get to turn that on Saturdays. It doesn't work like that.
I heard Ty Robinson talking to the defense. He sure as heck isn't telling his guys to let off either.
Yeah, Ty's not like, hey, guys, hold on. Like, the defensive linemen they're notorious for rule breakers, right?
Here we go.
Oh, please, don't even get me started, right? Like, we'll be in no pads and D-line. We'll be like, hey, no bull rushes today, no bull rushes. And then you'll beat them, and all of a sudden here comes a bull rush in pajamas. And you're like, okay. But then they want to get all butthurt when you have a double team and and then you're driving like, oh, come on, man, we don't have pads on. Like, you don't get it both ways. You don't get to just dictate. Like, the O-line should dictate the pace of practice, always.
Speaking like an offensive lineman right there. Okay, last clip we have from Coach Raiola is how offensive linemen can improve throughout the season and earn their way into playing time throughout the course of a season.
Just understanding the standard, you know, as an offensive lineman, as a defensive lineman, right? You take care of the line of scrimmage. A lot of games are won. People talk about that all the time, but just understand the standard, right? When you step on the field, our job is to help the whole team improve, right? When we do our jobs, not the 21 other guys get to improve.
How much can that happen for some of these younger players throughout a season?
A lot. I mean, especially for guys that, it happens a lot with first-time starters, right? And I was in this position. My second year, I was a redshirt freshman, I started, right? And I got better each week. Because the first week you're running out there, emotions are high, you're still kind of getting used to it, but you really see guys, and we talked about this on the podcast last year, you want to see your whole team take big jumps between week 1 and week 2, right? And as an O-lineman, you really do, because that's really the first time there's real consequences now, right? At practice, you get beat, your quarterback's not getting driven into the dirt, right? Like, they're going to lay off him, they're going to run by him, but when it's a real live bullet situation and that guy beats you and you turn around to watch your quarterback get killed or your running back get killed, like those are real teachable moments right there of you got to go help your buddy up and be like, man, that's not going to happen again. I'm sorry. And that's the standard Raiola is talking about, where you can't have those misses in games. They can't. Those cost you games, right? That 3rd and 6 in the first quarter that you give a sack up and don't convert, that could have been a difference in the game, right? You don't think about those in the moment. But when you go back and look at the tape, like, man, that sack then punted, they went down and scored instead of us flipping the field or whatever it may be if we just got one more first down. And so young players really have to learn that. But it also is just learning how to play with the guys next to you.
Yeah.
Right, learning what that group, how do I groove with my tackle and my center if I'm a guard, or hey, how do I mesh on this double team, or how do I pass off this stunt with my tackle? And it's different with everyone because everyone plays differently. So just getting used to how those guys play in games, and then also some guys panic in games, right? Some guys all of a sudden, we call it going AWOL, right? Like all of a sudden they show up in games like, what are you? Where are you? Like, what planet are you on right now? Because some guys just panic a little bit. And you can't replicate live game situation. As much as you can try and practice, you can put them out in the stadium, you can put them under the lights, but when there's 90,000 people screaming and national television, like sometimes wires get crossed, and that's a growing experience too, that you'll see it happen with some young guys.
But you'd think, going back to the playing with the guys alongside you, that this group finally has a leg up in that regard, because they have played a lot of football together, and getting Nuri back, yes, he's played football with these guys he missed last year, but he has played alongside Turner. He has played alongside Ethan Piper. And so Ben Scott's the new guy, but the other 4 have played together.
Yeah, I mean, playing together in a group and understanding how everyone reacts emotionally is a big piece too, right? Hey, if it's 2-minute drill at the end of the game, can I look across and see the other 4 guys' eyes and see no panic, right? Because we've been here before. We understand this. We understand what we're going up against. Or a lot of times is just understanding how to pull each other up when things aren't going well, right? So many times if things aren't going well in a game, and I mean, the game is a roller coaster. There's highs and there's lows, but being able to look and figure out, hey, how do I bring a guy back up, or how do I settle a guy down if he's running super high in emotion? I think back to Oklahoma a couple years ago, Turner gets that great block on the sideline, drives him out of bounds, but gets a personal foul for it. He's all fired up, crazy, gives up a sack the next play, right? Like, how do you get guys settled back down? How do you get everyone in that emotional check back in? And that only comes with just time and reps in a game.
Which even your guy Gabe Eichert said was not the right call.
Terrible call. Still eats me. Anytime I see an O-lineman finish and they get flagged for a personal foul, I get so upset.
I don't think, I was on the sidelines because that was your hunting trip. And I'm telling you, the coaches on the sideline weren't mad at all about that one.
It's probably a good thing I wasn't on the sideline, because I might have got kicked out, because I don't handle that well.
You would have ran out on the field.
I don't handle that well.
All right, well, we see some text rolling in on the text line. We will get to those on the other side of this break. 402-413-2400. The Source Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime, with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Hy-Vee makes grocery shopping easy with Hy-Vee Aisles Online. Just order online, schedule a pickup or delivery time, then leave the shopping to us. Download the Hy-Vee app or go to HyVeeAislesOnline.com. It's easy to create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Plus, with Hy-Vee Aisles Online, pickup is free on orders over $24.95, and delivery is free with the Hy-Vee Plus membership. Save time, shop online with Hy-Vee Aisles Online.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For new Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip. Works for me.
New Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Hi, this is Jim Baldonado with the Home Agency. Just like our support and enthusiasm for Husker athletics, our multi-line insurance agencies are ready and eager to help you with your insurance needs. Don't wait for disaster to test your insurance coverage. Get ahead of the game and let our agents provide you with the peace of mind knowing that your needs will be met. For more information, call home, the Home Agency, that is at 1-800-245-4241. That's 1-800-245-4241. Go Big Red.
Hey, Husker fans, Kinetic now offers fast 99% reliable internet for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Whether you're at home, school, or work, Kinetic Internet delivers the speed you need to stream, game, and stay connected with fellow Nebraska fans around the world. Only $39.99 a month for 12 months. And just like our teams in Scarlet and Cream, no one else even comes close. Check availability at Windstream.com. Kinetic Internet, proud sponsor of Husker Athletics. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
F&BO free checking is checking that's actually free. No fees or minimums, and now no overdraft fees. It's ever so personal, with people to help every step of the way. And easy, with a mobile app that allows you to deposit checks and manage your account wherever you are. So make the switch so you can do more with the Great Big Small Bank. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. F&BO free checking. It's ever so free. Member FDIC.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Hey, Husker fans, Kinetic now offers fast 99% reliable internet for just $39.99 a month for 12 months. Whether you're at home, school, or work, Kinetic Internet delivers the speed you need to stream, game, and stay connected with fellow Nebraska fans around the world. Only $39.99 a month for 12 months. And just like our teams in Scarlet and Cream, no one else even comes close. Check availability at Windstream.com. Kinetic Internet, proud sponsor of Husker Athletics. Terms and conditions apply.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network broadcast center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Jessica Coody, Jeremiah Sirles in for Greg Sharpe tonight. Got some texts rolling in on the text line. So first of all, Carol just wanted to confirm that your wife was a part of the Big Ten championship in 2013. That's right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We always joke that you guys hope that your kids get her athleticism and your size, right?
Yes, 100%.
And her speed.
She was much better athlete than me, but I mean, so far all my kids are extremely large, so we might be okay on that front. My 2.5-year-old is enormous.
And then John from Kansas says, "Hi, Jessica. My wife likes your blouse. Is that Husker or Cincinnati Bengal colors?" It is red. It just looks orange. I feel like in the chat, I'm looking at the stream. I don't know if it dulls it down, but it's red.
It is. It's Husker colors. I'd be all right with Bengals colors, though. I'm a big Bengals fan, too.
I am on that bandwagon.
I'm
Between,
big.
I like when there's guys that I know.
Well, your boy's playing next to my client.
Yes,
yeah,
Orlando
Big O
Brown.
playing next to Cordell Volson, my client.
He's one of my favorite guys I've ever worked with. Another offensive lineman, believe it or not. That and you want to talk about nasty, mean and nasty, but the nicest guy. He actually was on the Sports Nightly last year.
Enormous.
Yeah.
He is so
big guy.
He is enormous.
But I think the Bengals,
If Joey B can get back, I mean, I hope he's not hurt for long term. I'm glad it wasn't Achilles initially. I looked at it, I thought it was an Achilles. But I think the Bengals are the best team in the AFC, and all the Chiefs fans that are listening to me are going to chime in and say, how dare you? But I do think the Bengals are the best team.
Well, no, but this shirt is a golf shirt. I just wore it today. It is red. And speaking of golf, we had a question the other day asked, you're a golfer, right?
Yes.
And I said, I think you can hit it far, just not straight.
Yeah, not straight at all. My golf game's in shambles right now. It's a mess. Sometimes I figure it out and it's really fun, but most of the time it's not super enjoyable.
It's what keeps you coming back.
It is.
When you hit a good shot.
The wife and I go compete on the short course all the time out at Firethorn. Remembers out there. We love it. And we go out there and compete. And it's about 50-50 right now on who can win.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
Art in Los Angeles last night also, he had texted in. There is this funny video that the men's basketball team did about which player could beat Coach Hoiberg in horse. And anyways, so we had this funny discussion, and he listed out the rankings of how he think Sports Nightly would go. And, of course, he had me first. Mm-hmm. And he said last night he was going to change it. He had Cole second originally. Now Cole's moved down to third. You're second. But I don't think...
No.
I was like, I don't think Sirles can play basketball.
I mean, from inside the key, maybe. you put me outside the key, it's not pretty. You see this finger? Look at that. You see that? I can't hold a basketball real well anymore.
He did have Greg last.
Oh, that's a given. Yeah, Greg is down there at the bottom for sure.
Oh, that's funny. We had another text that was asking about, I don't know where it went, but my app's being a little slow, but just asking about the team chemistry in the dorms. We kind of talked about this the other night, but just what's your take on that and how important that's been?
I love it. I love the fact that they're just slumming it over there at Selleck right now. I mean, I hope the AC units work. I mean, my AC unit went out like 4 times during the summer, and I mean, slept with a fan this close to my face and the whole bit. But when you're just, again, I'll go back. I can't remember who said it last week at the press conference. Embrace the suck, right? Everyone's doing it. It's all about it. But you really do bond as a team when you're over there. You have off time and you pop your head out in the hallway, see whose door's open, go hang out with the buddies. Like, it's a great time.
We also had a text on here that said, Jeremiah Crypto King would like to know if he can have your autograph along with Jessica's when he wins the season for football picks in the chat room. We do have to figure out something cool to do for the guys in the chat. They played along last year. You didn't play, but
I'm playing this year.
You're going to play this
I'm going to play this year. I need redemption after what you did to me 2 years ago.
You know who's a back-to-back defending
champ? Did you
champ?
go back-to-back?
I
did. I'm
did.
definitely coming out of retirement then. I can't allow that to
I
happen.
dominated last year, too.
Well, I mean, obviously, I was gone. I took second the year before, and I mean, Greg is notoriously poor. And I mean, I'm coming for the belt this year.
I mean, I'm undefeated. I'm 2 for 2.
I'm coming for the belt.
I mean, good luck. We were joking about how for 2 years in a row, Penn State was I picked them every time.
You love Penn State. I mean, I
don't love Penn State. I love picking them.
I think Indiana hosed me a few times a couple years.
You kept hanging
on to the Allen train. I was like, he's gonna do it because I love it, and they just they let me down one too many times.
Winner gets a bag of high chews from Sam in Omaha. Maybe, yes. Let's maybe.
You're still supposed to bring me those.
Listen, I got you brownies and dessert pizza for your birthday today. I'll bring you some high chews.
I have to try these legendary candies.
Yes, I was slaving over the oven over a box brownie mix, trying to make Snickers brownies for your birthday.
They're delicious.
I'll make sure and get high chews.
Thank you.
Yes, and so you can have your opinion on that. Okay, speaking of the Indiana and Big Ten teams, I've said this a few times on the show, but you have a unique perspective on Minnesota, and you said perhaps that could be one of the biggest challenges for the defensive line, and it's right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about. I mean, I've represented back-to-back players from Minnesota 2 years in a row now, and so I'm very familiar with what that team does. I've studied that team a lot and how they run the football and how they do it. And it's a slow death on offense. They're the most boring team in college football to watch.
More than Iowa?
Yes, but they're super effective at what they do, and it's because they have big bodies up front. They run the mid zone extremely well, and then they don't commit turnovers. Now, I will say this. I think this year is going to be even different now because their quarterback can run, right? Tanner Morgan was in there for like a decade, and he was not very mobile. But this freshman that they had come in last year and play and came back in the second half against us last year ended up hurting us. Yeah, that quarterback came in. He was mobile. He can run. I think we're going to see a little more read option out of them this year, right? I think we're going to see a little more zone out of them, get the quarterback run involved. And, yeah, it's going to be a really big test for our defense because, that's going to be a physical battle. But also at the same time, they're going to be going against defense they've never seen before. They've never practiced before. They've never seen anything like our defense before. So I think it's going to be the first quarter is going to be very interesting, very telling to kind of see what this Husker defense is about. But we know what that Minnesota offense is about. It's just a slow death, a slow 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. And then if we can start getting some negative plays and put that quarterback in passing situations, I'll be pretty happy with where we're at.
We'll dive all into the preview of each opponent each week. You are?
Yeah, I'm flying up with the booster trip.
Nice.
Yeah, so Emma and I are going up on the booster trip, go up there, get a chance to watch the game, talk, and see it. I'm super excited.
Well, we will, each week on the podcast, we'll really dive into each opponent. But I had brought that up a few times about your perspective about Minnesota. So while you're here, before I forgot about it, Minnesota is also receiving top 25 votes. So the coaches poll came out yesterday. I broke this down last night on the show, but if you nope, that's not it. Where is it? So it was Michigan. Let's see. Oh, where is it? Here we go. I found it. So Michigan is 2, and Ohio State's 4.
Yep.
Georgia 1.
Yep.
Michigan 2. Alabama 3. Ohio State 4. Guess where Penn State is?
6.
7. USC is 6.
They don't count. They're still in the pack.
So you have, I know, but I was just saying, I was kind of surprised that they're as high as they are.
Caleb Williams factor.
I know,
I mean,
true.
You look at what Cam Newton was the only NFL player on that Auburn football team, and he was able to will them to a national championship. When you have a trigger man back there, like Trevor Lawrence, all those guys, like your team is going to be very good as long as he can stay healthy.
I will say Auburn had a little bit better defense than USC does.
Yes. Well, the Pac-12 doesn't play defense, and they're going to get awakened here in the next couple of years.
Okay, so Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Ohio State, Penn State 7. There is not another team from the Big Ten in the top 25 until 21, Wisconsin.
I think that's fair because of the talent they have. Now, what Luke Fickell does to that team is going to be the Wisconsin fan base right now is just, they have no idea what to expect, right? They're so used to showing up and seeing big, massive power football. And now they're going to see a quarterback out there and be airing it out fast. They're going to be running up to the ball, snapping it quick with tempo. But they've got a lot of talent, Right, they've got a lot of talent. They've recruited really well. They've built from within, and they didn't have a ton of transfers out.
A lot of guys.
I would say they didn't have a ton of transfers out, which is really big for them too. But I think that's a fair ranking.
Your guy Braylon Allen, who you love.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
he's
Tanner
so
Mordecai, he was at OU when I was at OU, and so he learned under Lincoln Riley. Say what you will about Lincoln Riley, but he's the quarterback whisperer, and so he learned under him. He was Kyler Murray's backup.
Yep.
Then went to SMU, was one of the nation's best passers a year ago, and now he's going up to. I mean, I'm intrigued by what they're going to do up there. They've got some weapons on offense.
I mean, they have a receiver in Chimdike that's going to be a breakout year for them. They have 3 NFL offensive linemen. They have Bordellini. They have Jake Renfro, who transferred in from Cincinnati, and then Jack Nelson. All those guys are projected draft picks next year for them. So, I mean, their offensive line is built really well, and then they have the skill positions to do it. And that defense is always super physical. I mean, that's linebacker U. They just seem to pump guys into the NFL every single year.
So Minnesota also receiving votes, I said that, and Maryland also receiving votes, which is not surprising. I mean, they got a lot of guys back, too.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of guys back. They've always had great skill position. They kind of put it together the back half of last year. And then Minnesota is just the definition of consistency, right? 8 wins, 9 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins. But I think that's pretty fair for the Big Ten. I think everyone else in the Big Ten is too many question marks to put them in the top 25 right now.
All right, we got to get to another break here on Sports Nightly. Right now, enjoy great value on outdoor power equipment from Steel, from gas-powered blowers, chainsaws, and more to high-performance pressure washers built to tackle the dirtiest jobs. Find yours at stihldealers.com.
America, it's time to gear up and get out there in a new Ford vehicle. And it all starts at your local Ford dealer during the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need to discover your best summer ever. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover summer with Ford. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $2,750 bonus cash on F-150 and F-150 Lightning. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
If unwanted hair is putting you in a prickly situation, give laser hair removal a try. Milan Laser Hair Removal delivers smooth, hair-free skin with permanent results for men and women of all skin tones. So there's no more unwanted stubble, razor burn, or ingrown hairs. Visit any of Milan Laser's 7 Nebraska locations to get 1 free treatment. Ready to never shave again? Call 833-NO-RAZOR or visit MilanLaser.com to book your free treatment and consultation. That's MilanLaser.com.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
If you're an unconditional, wholehearted, and ever so loyal Husker fan, you deserve to pay like one everywhere you go. With the free FNBO Husker Visa debit card. Fuel your fandom all season and beyond with a debit card just for you. It's free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get your free Husker Visa debit card at any branch or at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
There's a new kind of season ticket when you fly from the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Huskers. Now at LNK, choose from fast, affordable, non-stop flights to your favorite vacation spots. All from an airport that's relaxed and hassle-free. It's never been easier to get off the bench and enjoy an adventure with the whole family. Visit GoFlyLNK.com and book your trip today. Let's go.
Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Blair is your trusted auto partner with savings on Ram models to fit your lifestyle. During the Make This the Summer sales event, get $9,424 off MSRP on a new Ram 1500 Quad Cab Warlock or $8,746 off MSRP on a 2023 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn. Built for summer adventures with massive towing and hauling capability and 4 legendary engines to choose from. Serving the Metro since 1991, this is Woodhouse. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, $299 doc fee due at sign. When finance with Chrysler Capital. Offer expires 7/31/2023. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Oh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling his favorite Luxair dealer. Trusted since 1950, with Luxair you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue! SOS! SOS!
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Road Townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red!
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Texts have been flowing in all night. I did want to get to this one earlier. Wish you a happy birthday. I have a bet with a friend who is a big Sooners fan, is as big of a Sooners fan as I am a Huskers fan. I bet her NU will have more wins this year than OU. The loser takes the other out for a good old Nebraska steak dinner. Go Big Red. You got to love the confidence.
You got to love the confidence. I'm not sold on, I don't know, Oklahoma's in the SEC now, right?
No, not this year.
Oh,
they got one more year. But you know,
okay.
Everybody, you have a good perspective of this. You know, everybody and maybe even the refs are going to be going after OU this year.
Oh, yeah. When you're on your way out, you get no love. Zero love, sir. None. Zero. They're going to get every ticky-tacky call called on them all year long.
That's what happened to you,
100%.
Right?
We got crushed. We got absolutely murdered when we said we were leaving the Big 12.
Well, speaking of steak, there's a big discussion going on in the YouTube chat about how they like their steak cooked. We had some mediums.
Medium rare is the only acceptable answer to this. Anything else, you might as well order a hamburger.
Okay. Hey,
what about, you don't eat red meat. Never mind.
No, I'm out on this discussion. I was just allowing you to get in on that. Oklahoma's ranked 19 this year in the preseason poll. I don't know. I don't know much about, and they have had such turnover since I was there. But I think Texas is better. Texas is ranked pretty high.
Texas is ranked high. I think the dark horse in the Big 12 this year is going to be Houston. I think Houston actually has a pretty salty squad down there this year.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get to this one other text here.
So many texts.
I know. Happy birthday from Chet. Got a good deer stand me and my brother Donnie made from an old satellite tower and dish. Ready for you down here in Tecumseh anytime. Sirles, you're my hero.
Oh, gotta love old Chet from Tecumseh. He's the best. He's a big fan. He's a
Chet,
big fan.
Texting every night.
He does. He just had triplets. I know Chet. He just had triplet boys, so he's not getting any sleep whatsoever, and I don't feel bad for him.
You said having 3 at different ages were tough.
Oh yeah, 3, and this is they wanted 3, and they ended up with 5. So they had 2 very similar to my age or kids, and they went for the 3rd, and they just got blessed with triplets.
Are sleeping better though. Your kids are?
Oh yeah, my son sleeps fantastic. It's my second was she made me pay for an entire year of life, but my 3rd is a blessing.
Nice.
Sleep is a must.
Well, we have soccer going on. Mentioned that at the top of the show. This is the very first athletic event of the season. This kind of kicks things off right now. This is exhibition, so the first of exhibition, but playing South Dakota State. Nebraska is trailing 1-0, but every time I look up, the ball is on our side of the field. You want to talk about a sport that I do not know anything about is soccer, but it seems like we have the ball on our side of the field a lot, which is good, right?
I know. I don't understand soccer.
Did you not go to soccer games?
I couldn't. It was always on Friday nights. We were always traveling.
You didn't go on Sundays?
We had practice. Yeah,
you practice on Sundays?
We had run and lift and meetings.
Wow.
Yeah, run, lift.
So how many soccer games did you go to?
Probably 5.
Wow.
We used to have some downtime. We'd sit in that awning between the bridge between the Hawks and the facility, and we'd watch as much as we could there. But my parents always used to come up and they'd go watch the Friday night game before they come to the soccer game.
Pretty awesome that Coach Rhule has a football team out there tonight, and going back to just building that camaraderie and not just within the football team, but with the whole athletics department. I talked to a lot of coaches that it means a lot to them that this football team is supporting them in the way that they are.
Absolutely. I think it's really cool what Rhule does. I think what Rhule does is incredible because you have to build that camaraderie. I mean, Husker players on the soccer team, when I was here at least, we always hung out. I mean, it was always like the Husker played football was with soccer, and then you always had baseball was with volleyball. So I don't know. It always kind of moves around a little bit, but I mean, we were always really close with the soccer team.
All right, let's work into our final break. We're back to wrap up hour number 2. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Spot less. Introducing the cleanup for tar spot, gray leaf spot, southern rust, and more. Novel next generation Adastrio fungicide broadens your spectrum and strengthens your residual when it comes to foliar disease control in corn. Visit your FMC retailer or adastrio.ag.fmc.com to clean up this season. Follow 2EE for tar spot management in corn. Valid until 1/31/28. Always read and follow all label directions.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Allergy season is officially here. Your home should be a place where you can escape dust, pollen, and other allergens. But every time you enter your home, you bring them inside. John Henry's offers numerous products to remove allergens and germs from your home. Call
John Henry's
today to learn more about our indoor air quality products to breathe easier in your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Spot less. Introducing the cleanup for tar spot, gray leaf spot, southern rust, and more. Novel next generation Adastriode fungicide broadens your spectrum and strengthens your residual when it comes to foliar disease control in corn. Visit your FMC retailer or at astrio.ag.fmc.com to clean up this season. Follow 2EE for tar spot management in corn. Valid until 1/31/28. Always read and follow all label directions.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final few minutes here of Sports Nightly on this Tuesday evening with Jeremiah Sirles. I'm Jessica Coody. Let's get to the phones. Husker Dan called in during the break. Dan, how's it going?
Good, Jessica. And Jeremiah, oh my God, dude. I'm a Viking fan, and now you switch to the Bengals? What the hell?
I got clients on the Bengals, man. I got clients on the Bengals. All my friends are gone off the Vikings. Like, everyone I played with has been, like, shipped off or gone. I think Harrison Smith's, like, the only one left.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that.
I have a lot of love for the purple, though. I will always have a lot of love for the purple.
You love Minnesota. You love Minneapolis,
yes,
too.
If I move anywhere, it'd be to Minneapolis.
Yep, I've been a Viking fan since the Purple People Eaters.
Love it.
Yep. Okay, my question to both of you is this Tom Osborne documentary that's coming out in Lincoln and all the theaters and so. Here in West Point, we have a theater that we renovated, and it's a beautiful theater in West Point. It's a little small town, and me and another guy that are huge Husker fans, we tried tooth and nail to get this in West Point, and it was really kind of hard to get because PBS has the rights or there's agents involved and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we have it for a weekend, and we are going to pack this theater with Husker fans to see this documentary. So can you guys kind of elaborate a little bit about, so what is it? Is it like a 3 or 4 part thing, or can you kind of give me what?
Yeah, I do believe that the first part came out, about a year or so ago or last fall. I'm not sure, but I did get an email about that actually today, that the day-by-day documentary that it is coming out. I actually have not seen it yet. I know it was in theaters. They had a huge showing. I think it was in Omaha, right? The first time that they had the first series of it, but I have not seen it yet. It's awesome that they're bringing it to theaters and that you guys are going to get to go. I imagine it's going to be entertaining and fun for fans to get to take a walk down memory lane.
Dan, you probably know my father-in-law who helps run the theater out there, Rod Stevens. He's my father-in-law, so I know he worked a lot at that theater. I've actually been in that theater quite often. Him and my mother-in-law live in West Point there.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that is my father-in-law, Mr. Rodney Stevens, the best of them.
So is it sold out yet for fans if they want to go out there and see the theater or see it?
Well, no, we're just getting word out now. We just got the ball rolling, so yeah, hopefully we can get this thing sold out. We're just putting the word out right now.
All right, well, I will definitely look in and get some more information on that, and we'll help you guys promote it for sure. I know we did the first time around, and I know Husker fans, we had a lot of questions about it, so we'll make sure that we get the word out and help you guys out there. I know that the first one was a big hit, it sounds like, so I think probably a lot of fans will enjoy it. Dan, thanks so much for the call.
Okay, you betcha. You guys have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
Always love it when Dan calls in. We have some regular callers that will start calling in now that it's football season.
Of course. I mean, everyone just goes into hibernation mode
including you.
I tell you guys at the end of every football season next year, I'm like, all right, I'll see you in spring, and then I'll see you in the fall, because that's just how, football season is just the lifeblood around here.
Well, did Husker Nation make you feel special on your birthday?
Of course. It was the best. This was a great birthday party. I'm going to go grab a drink with the wife here and the birthday the right way.
I don't even think I got to all the happy birthday texts, but
I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all of you.
You saw them roll in.
I did.
Even if I didn't get to all of them.
You.
So we appreciate you guys being a part of the show. And Sirles is in tonight. He's in tomorrow. He'll be in Friday as well. So keep the party rolling. I said last night it's the party week, not just a Friday party show. It's a Friday, or it's the party show week.
Beautiful.
So every night this week. So Sirles will be back in tomorrow night. So we'll look forward to having you guys back here tomorrow night. Happy birthday, my friend. Take the dessert home to the kids. Do not leave it here in the studio.
I will. Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Husker Nation, for listening. Have a great night, and happy birthday to Jeremiah Sirles.
Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Our planet, it's hungry. Blessed with millions of acres in this great nation, our farmers work tirelessly to feed the planet through seasons of uncertainty and seasons of growth. It's a tough business to do alone. As owners of Central Valley Ag, it's together that we move forward. There's room at the table. Find your seat at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Okay, men, huddle up. Look, we're playing one of the best football teams in the country today, and quite frankly, we don't have a chance against these guys. Let's face it, we're going to get slaughtered out there. But the good news is that the Nebraska Lottery has scratch and lotto prizes that any one of us could win.
Yeah!
After the game, we're taking the team bus to the nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer to see if we can win big.
Let's go!
So let's get out there and lose with pride.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Meet water's bubblier and more energetic best friend. Bubbler Antioxidant Sparkling Water. With tons of flavors, there's one for every occasion. Interviewing for your dream job, hitting the beach, or going on an epic road trip? Pop the top on your favorite bubbler flavor and awesome antioxidants swoop in to balance your body and focus your mind. Right before a boost of natural caffeine shows up to save your day. There's a benefit in every bubble.